So, Deb, how would you like to play 3-Question Thursday?
Oh boy. Okay.
All right, 3 questions. Well, my first one is this. You mentioned, and we didn't get to this, but when we talked the other day, you did have some resources that you liked as far as books. What are some of your favorites that you could suggest for people?
I really like the book Satisfied by Dr. Rona Epstein. I learned about her from Christy, and she is, I think she's an addictions counselor. I forget. I think, but she's a trained PhD, and she is a Messianic Jewish woman, so she has the best of both worlds. So this is a Christian-based book. And it's a 90-day book of 90 days journaling and prompts and exercises to do. I really dove into that book, and I love that book. Of course, Made to Crave by Lisa TerKeurst. I love her book too. And, Kelly All has actually 2 devotionals now that are Christian-based and about this food journey. So those are probably my favorite, and they're all Christian based. I haven't done a lot of the other readings, but I've heard people love Atomic Habits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't read that, but those were my favorite books that I read, and I still refer to them to go back and forth.
Okay. Well, here's the question number 2. You talked very briefly about the post-event collapse syndrome. With all the things that happened in your life that led up to a 28-pound weight gain, and then ultimately for you to go back into bright line eating like full force. There's the post-event collapse syndrome, but there's also, you are being tempted. Do you have an emergency action plan for when, oh boy, I either need to do something or get out of here? What is your emergency action plan?
I think it's really important that everybody develops one or plan for it. Usually I stop, I pause, I'll take a few deep breaths. Like Christy taught us in her course, stop, pray, walk away, or like a fire, stop, drop, and roll. If you find yourself on fire, removing yourself from the situation helps. Actually, one time I did pray. Again, you never think of asking God to help you with a temptation. But one time we were driving down the road, and there's this little ice cream shop that my car always navigated to that. It's like a little magnet. I would always go there, always get my little treat there. And I knew we were going to drive down this. I don't go to this road or this side of the city that much, but when I do, that's where we would always go. So I knew we were going to drive by there. And I'm like, I wasn't driving though, but I'm like, please, let's not go there. Or maybe I was driving. Yeah, I think I was driving. And I prayed to God. I just said, please take this craving away from me. Please take this craving away from me. And I said it over and over again. And before I knew it, I passed it, and I didn't stop. A lot of times if you're craving something or think you want something or you're reaching for something, you're probably craving for something else. It's maybe you're tired, maybe you're bored, maybe you're lonely. I always would say, oh, it's not time to eat. I would remind myself, oh, no, you don't need that. Oh, no, you have all you need. You've already had all your nutrients. You don't need that. I'd take a big glass of water, because sometimes if you think you feel hungry, you're really dehydrated. So big glass of water. And of course, my secret weapon is my water pick, my Nice Feel water pick. The best, like $32 I ever spent on Amazon. If the house is on fire, that I am grabbing that water pick. Maybe that's why my gums are so great, but nothing is going past these clean teeth. And of course, flavored teas. I love my flavored teas. So Yeah, that's my emergency action plan. And I think it's also important that you do develop a what if plan, or if I'm in a situation like this, I'm going to go to a big event. How am I going to get through this? So you don't want to ever get caught unprepared. So mentally you have to prepare or make a list. I think Susan did this. I find my lines getting squeaky, or my lines getting blurry when, and then you make a list. I find my lines get blurry when my husband and I go sit on the deck and watch the sunset, because we always would have a glass of NMF during that time. And every time I sit there, I want to reach for that NMD. So what am I going to do to replace that? When I go to downtown and I always walk by this shop, what am I going to do if my granddaughter wants to walk in there and get whatever? So you have to play these scenarios in your mind when you know it's going to happen. So it's all about the prep. So those are good tips.
One more question. This is for all the money, all the marbles. Okay. Deb, I want you to picture you getting that Women's World magazine. Have you actually picked it up yet?
No, it's not in the stores here.
Okay, so when you pick this up, I want you to picture that you've read this, and I want you to think about the Deb of day one. What would you say to her?
Can you believe we did this? How crazy is this? Would you, in your wildest dreams, ever think not only would you lose 80 pounds, but that you'd be on a cover of a magazine? I mean, I don't know. I can't wait to actually go and buy one. They were going to send me a hard copy, but they did send me the digital. But I just can't wait to go in and say, to the cashier and say, does this woman look familiar?
That is just crazy. But you know what? I'm thinking about, and I don't really want, it's a spoiler alert, but, there is one piece in there that talks about this really tough moment. And to think that just a few years later, all of this has happened. And
this is a spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah. That's you. Yeah. That's
the inside. That's just
it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you're going to get.
The whole spread. Yeah. I mean,
but yeah,
so cool.
I did share some, my rock bottom moment. They wanted to know how, they want to sell drama, and I put myself out there, and I've had a couple negative comments about people saying it's a shame that BLE is being sensationalized, or that you're in a magazine like this that does gimmicks and fads. And I felt really bad at first, but then I thought, well, if some people can read through that, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the way they dramatize a lot of the things, but if someone can be directed and find a plan that works because of this, it'll be all worth that. And you all know me, and the real me, and that's what I hope the people that I care about and the people that know me will know. That's where I was coming from.
Absolutely.
From love and honesty.
We are all so happy for you. We are all proud to call you friend. And I got a great suggestion from the comments here. Teresa said, wear the same shirt and jeans when you go in the store. That would be too funny. That would be so great.
Oh my gosh. I do have the same shirt with me. We're up at our cabin right now doing spring cleaning, and we're renovating our deck, so we need to pay our contractor. So we're up here for just a couple of weeks. But I did bring that. I don't have the same jeans, but I do
have someone take a picture of you in the store with it. That would be so great. Oh, Deb,
that would be
love you.
It's just going to be, it's just surreal. It's a hilarity. And oh my gosh. But yeah.
Well, and someone also said, be sure to close the blinds because photographers will be hiding in the bushes.
Oh, funny.
So, Deb, you know what? As I said, we just love you and we do know your heart. We just wish you all the success in the world because who knows where this leads? Seriously. I'm hoping that you get an idea to create a cookbook too, because Deb's Delicious Dinners
Wow.
work really well in a book too. So
I know
just
it.
putting
And
it out there.
everybody's been after me, but you know, I'm not person that measures spices and stuff and people want exact, like how much did you put, how much cumin did you put in there? It's like, I don't know. I just threw it in there. I mean, and when you write a cookbook, you have to be exact. And I am just not that way.
And Linda says
So
you could illustrate your own book with your own watercolors. So there you go. So anyway, we're going to close out. But again, Deb, thank you so much for sharing with us
thank you,
your
Noreen.
story and your success and your inspiration. And thank you for coming on Starting Out Bright tonight. And thank you for playing 3 Question Thursday.
Thank you, Noreen.
Thanks, everybody. And stay bright. Good night.